Buddy, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 35. This is a review lesson. Let's begin by setting up our table. You'll have the top 160 sight word list, the sight word study method instruction sheet, the card pack on which the student's currently working, some blank index cards for introducing new sight words, a highlighter, markers, and some pencils. For the short vowel drill, you'll have the teacher instruction sheet, the keyword pictures, and the keyword sentence. For the phonemic awareness drill, the teacher instruction sheet, and the colored tiles for the student. For the visual drill and auditory drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the student's card pack. Notice that we've added TCH to the card pack because we introduced TCH in the last lesson. Moving on to the syllable card drill, you'll notice that for the first time, we are dealing with 3-syllable words. These are big ones. So you have to think about where your student's at. Is your student ready for the 3-syllable words? If you feel like this is too big of a stretch, having them all scrambled in this way, then you could have the first column and the second column be in the correct order, and then the student just would unscramble that third column there. Just like always, we would read down the first column, read down the second column, read down the third column, then read across the rows, and then unscramble things. I could have basket ready to go, and then just ball is the only thing that the student would have to unscramble if I thought that that was necessary. And you can see the bottom there, athletic. It's all written properly in the right order. So you could even have them all in the right order if you think that's where the student's at, that unscrambling is too big a stretch. You'll need the magnetic letter tile and spelling and reading sheets for the instruction sheet and the cookie sheet with the tile spread in a rainbow shape. The syllable pounding instruction sheet, the kinesthetic discovery instruction sheet, and the sheets for the lesson, which include the single word list, the story, and the sentences for the writing portion of the lesson. In addition to all of that, you're going to have a they'll be in the review section, a blending drill, and we'll be working on the SH, WH, TH, PH, all those consonant digraphs that we worked on where two consonants are together and make a brand new sound. And then we'll review the sounds, when do we use CH and when do we use TCH when we're writing. And that'll be a sort that we'll do. In addition to all of that, you might have a timer on the table because you might have decided that the student's at a point where you can introduce a fluency program. If you'd like to learn more about that, I talk about it in detail in lesson 33 at the beginning. But the programs I would recommend would be Read Naturally or 6-Minute Reading Solution. Let's begin with sight words. Student, you're going to take out your card pack of sight words, and you will read through each card. When you read a word correctly, you can put a check mark in the corner of the index card. Then you give your card pack to your teacher, and it's your teacher's turn to read. Your teacher reads each card, and you will write down each word on a piece of paper. When a word is written correctly, you can put a check mark in the other corner of the index card. Then you and your teacher can have a discussion about which of those words has been mastered. If you feel like you would get it right 8 or 9 times out of 10 every time you'd write it, then it's mastered. And reading now, also you have to be able to read it 8 or 9 times correctly out of 10. And if you feel like that's true, then you can take it out of your card pack. This leaves space in your card pack. Today, when we introduce a new sight word, we're actually introducing 4 sight words. And they're not coming from your top 160 sight word list today. They are exceptions to the TCH rule. So do that sight word study method activity and then come back to me and I will help you introduce those 4 new words. Okay, let's finish up the sight word study method by introducing 4 new sight words. In lesson number 34, we learned about the TCH rule. What do you remember about the TCH rule? Can you and your teacher have a quick discussion about that and then come back to me? TCH rule says that when we have a closed syllable in a 1-syllable word, if I have the short vowel sound, in this case it's a, followed by the ch sound of ch, then that's a situation where I need to spell it as TCH. An easy way to think about this, we like to tell that story of how a closed syllable is created when a babysitter comes in to close in the vowel, and it'll say it's nice, soft sound, because it's all happy that it's got its babysitter. Ah. But we say CH does not like to be the babysitter. He says, I'm not doing it. So T is happy to come in, and he spreads his arms out wide like a T does, and he says, it's okay, everyone, chill out. I will be the babysitter. I'm keeping CH as far as possible from the A. And that word is catch. It's important to understand this TCH rule because we don't hear the T. We hear k, a, ch. This rule is one that we can really trust. But there are 4 words that are common words that do not follow the TCH rule. And that's why we teach them as sight words. Let's look at the first one. And teacher, you can write this one on a card for the student. This word is rich. And we hear the I, ch. And we can see on this card that the wrong thing is happening, right? Because shouldn't there be a T? Because we have the I. And then the ch. The ch is actually acting as a babysitter. Oh, the skies are going to fall. Who knows what's going to happen? So this is an exception, and we just have to know that's an exception. And that's why we're teaching this as a sight word. This happens in the word rich. And another common case where this happens, teacher, you can make a card for this one, is such, because we hear the ch. So there should be a T in there according to the TCH rule, but there's not. So we've got rich, such, much. How much does it cost? I hear and then ch. So it should be a TCH situation, but it is not. So that's 3 out of 4. And then the only other one that's a really common one where this happens is which. Because we hear WH is fine. It's a question word, so we expect that the W sound will be made by the WH in question words. We hear ch. Which way did they go? And so because we hear that followed by the ch, we expect it to be a TCH situation, but it's not. So in 4 cases, which, rich, such, and much, CH is being the babysitter. So how are we going to remember these 4 words out of all the words in English? I like to do this by making a little sentence, and you can make your own sentence if you want, or you can use mine. But I made a silly little sentence, and the sentence is, which rich is a such much? I imagine that such much was a monster. And maybe so I drew a picture as well. And I drew a picture of my such much monster with an R on his shirt to say that his name is Rich. And then there's a little man here as well, and his name is Rich. So which Rich is the such much monster? And that little sentence helps me to remember the 4 words that don't follow the TCH rule. So if you would like, you could have your own card, have you just write the sentence on there, which Rich is a such much. And on the back of the card, you can make your own picture of a monster and a person named Rich. And that will help you to remember which Rich is a such much. Do you have to do the sight word study method to remember these? In this case, I would say no, because we do have another way to remember it, which would be the sentence with the keyword picture. So I'll let you choose what you would like to do. Do you want to make the sentence with the picture, or would you like to use the standard sight word study method of saying the letters and tracing and underlining and going down your arm? Yeah. Okay, so I'll let you decide. And when you finish this activity, you can come back to me. It's time for the short vowel drill. You'll need your keyword pictures and your keyword sentence. Take 2 fingers and trace the keyword picture saying the keyword. So I'd say apple, and then I underline it and say the keyword sound, ah. Do this for all of the keyword pictures and sounds. And then when you're finished, you will say the keyword sentence, stretching out the vowel sounds as you say it. It's time for the phonemic awareness drill. Student, can you take out your colored tiles for this one? Your word is hat. Can you repeat that word? If I was going to use it in a sentence, I might say, can you pass me the hat? I would like to put it on my head. Okay, now I'd like you to build the word hat with tiles. Then tap it and say it. Okay, do you have 3 tiles down? Now I'd like you to add one on the end and call it ch. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get hatch? If you did, that's right. Now find the ah in hatch and change the ah into an What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get hutch? If you did, that's right. Now I'd like you to add the n sound. We're going to put it in between the and the ch. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get hunch? If you did, that's correct. Now find the h in hunch. Can you change the h into a p? What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get punch? If you did, that's right. Find the p in punch and change it to a What's your new word? Did you get runch? If you did, that's right. It's not a word on its own, but let's add one more sound. Let's add a k onto the front of runch. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get crunch? If you did, that's right. Great job. You can put your tiles away now. Let's do the visual drill. The teacher flashes a card and the student says the sound that it makes. So student, what's the sound of this one? Did you say shh? If you did, that's correct. Sh as in shawl or show. Teacher, you can flash about 6 to 8 cards and then come back to me. Let's do the auditory drill. You'll use the same card pack for this one, but the teacher holds the cards and doesn't show the student. The teacher says, student, your sound is ch. Can you repeat that sound? Now, what symbols go with ch? You might know more than one. Write down the ones that you know, underline it, and say the sound again. Okay, did you get TCH and CH? If you did, that's right. Whoops. While I was doing this, someone just came to see me. Hello. Hello, Coco. Okay, teacher, you can do 6 to 8 of those flashcards and then come back to me. Hello. It's time for the syllable card drill. The teacher has this one cut out and all set up on the table for you. What you're going to do is what you've always done, even though it's 3 syllables today. It looks really big, doesn't it? You're going to read down all the syllables in column number 1, tap it, say it, then the middle column, and then the final column. And then, just like normal, you'll read across, making mostly nonsense words probably. I'm not sure how the teacher has it set up on your table. And then you'll be unscrambling the second and third column to form real words. Let's do some syllable pounding. This is where you stretch out your arm and you pound it out every time you hear one syllable. A finger shoots out. And remember, the syllables are, can you say it with me? We'll use our hand signals. A syllable is a word or part of a word with one vowel pattern. So you're listening for the vowel sounds. Another way to do it is every time a vowel sound happens, it forces your jaw to drop, so your jaw will hit your hand. Okay, here's your first one. Bask. How many syllables? Did you say 1? If you did, that's right. I hear the ah sound in bask. Bask. Try this one. Basketball. How many? Did you say 3? Basketball. If you did, that's right. How about this one? Fantastic. How many? Did you say 3? If you did, that's correct. Okay, how about this one? In. That one has 1. How about this? Inhabit. Did you say 3? If you did, that's correct. We have been talking about times where 2 consonants are side by side in a word, and instead of blending together as we would expect, they make a brand new sound. And these are some of the ones that we've been working on. I thought it was interesting to put them all together like this, and you can see that in every case it's a consonant plus an H. Right now, let's just do a quick review of these sounds. What does this one make? Tell your teacher. How about this one? This one has 3 sounds. Can you tell your teacher the 3 sounds? And this one has 2 sounds. And this one has 2 sounds. How did you do? Great, I hope. Let's review these symbols and sounds by doing a quick blending drill. Let's review the TCH rule. Can you take out your rule card that we gave you in lesson number 34? Let's review the parts of the definition of the TCH rule. The rule says, and we'll use an example to do this, when we have a 1-syllable word and the vowel is short, which means it's going to be a closed syllable, right? And we have a vowel that's short followed by that ch sound of CH. Then it's a situation where we're going to write it as TCH. So what's that word? Let's tap it and say it. B-a, we don't say the t, we say ch, so it's batch. And it's important to know this rule because we don't hear the t sound, it's not there. So we have to know that when we're going to spell this word, we're going to spell it with TCH. Let's look at a different example. So if I had this word, well, first of all, let's figure out what the word is. Can you tap it and say it? So that word is b-a-n-ch, bunch. Is that a situation where I need a TCH? Let's apply the rule. It's 1 syllable. It has 1 short vowel, a. Is the directly followed by a ch? No, there's already an N there. So the N is doing its job already, so we don't need the T. So that word is spelled correctly, bunch. Let's review, just do some practice on when you use TCH and when you use CH. And we're going to do a little sort. And for this one, your teacher has some headings set up on the table. And teacher, you're not going to show the student all these little cards that you've made, except for these 2, the headers, the TCH and the CH. Student, I'm going to say a word, and I would like you to tap it out. Let's do an example together. So I would say your word is punch. Can you tap it out? You'd say p-a-n-ch. And then you're thinking, did the the short vowel sound, was it directly followed by the CH? If it was, it's a TCH situation. But if you heard a babysitter right after that short vowel sound, not a CH sound, then you know it's just written as CH. So in this one we had p-a-n-ch. So in the word punch, there's an N. So that would go under the CH pile. It's not a TCH situation. Okay, your next one is match. Can you tap that one out? Okay, what do you think? Is that a TCH or a CH? Okay, let's have a review of that one. M-a-ch. So I heard the short vowel sound, and then directly after it I heard ch. That must be a TCH situation. Need a new babysitter. So T hops in there to do the job. So let's put that under the TCH heading. Okay, teacher, do you see how to do this one? So you have the pile of words there, and you can orally tell the student the word, let them tell you if it's TCH or CH, and then you can place then you'll show the answer and place it under the correct column. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. And student, remember that we're working on that TCH rule. So we're trying to figure out what are the situations where we're going to need TCH and what are the situations where we're going to just need CH. Okay, the first sound in your word is F. Can you repeat that sound? Okay, grab the correct tile on your magnetic letter tile board and pull it to the middle. Your next sound is E. Can you repeat that sound? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your next sound is Ch. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Let's have a look at that word and decide if that is a TCH situation or a CH situation. And then you can add an extra tile if you think you need to. How did you spell it? And what's the word? The word is fetch. Did you spell it F-E-T-C-H? Because we hear the E and then the ch is directly after it, so we need to insert that T to separate the E and the CH. If you did, that's right. Okay, put your tiles away and let's try a new word. Your first sound is B. Can you repeat that sound? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. The next sound is Can you repeat that sound? Grab the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Ah. Can you repeat that sound? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. The last sound is ch. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Look at your word and decide if it's spelled correctly. And then tap it and say it to figure out the word. Did you get branch? If you did, that's right. And teacher, you can talk about the TCH rule if you see that it's spelled incorrectly. Okay, teacher, if there's time, you could do another word on the magnetic letter tile drill. And if not, let's move on to reading the single word list and then reading the short story. For some students, after you read the short story, that's where you introduce the fluency piece. And teacher, you'll know if it's time to do that or not. If you'd like to learn more about that, go to lesson 33. At the start of the lesson, I talk about fluency. Oh, okay, we're moving into the writing portion of the lesson. So we'll need the magnetic letter tile board again. Student, your word is hunch. Can you repeat that word? If I was going to use it in a sentence, I might say, I have a hunch that you will be able to spell this word. What's the first sound that you hear in hunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in hunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in hunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in hunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Check your word and apply any spelling rules that you think you need to apply. And then tap it and say it. Did you get H-U-N-C-H? If you did, that's right. It's not a TH situation because the N is already separating, it's already doing the job of the babysitter. It's separating the U from the CH there. Okay, great. Put your tiles away and let's try a new one. Your word is brunch. Can you repeat that word? Brunch is a meal that we have that is like a late breakfast or early lunch. We call it brunch. What's the first sound that you hear in brunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in brunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the next sound in brunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound in brunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound in brunch? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Okay, tap it and say it, and apply any spelling rule that you think needs to get applied. Okay, did you spell it B-R-U-N-C-H? If you did, that's right. Teacher, if you want, you could do another word in this way. And if not, let's move on to tapping and tracing. Student, you can decide if you would like to tap out the word or if you would like to trace it out saying the sounds as you trace. And then in either case, you'll grab the word and say it after you do that, and then you'll write it down. So you need some lined paper and a pencil for this activity. Your word is pitch. Can you repeat that word? I might say, I will pitch the baseball. Okay, let's tap that one out. And then grab it, say the whole word and pull it across, and then write it down. Apply any spelling rules that you think need to get applied. Did you spell it P-I-T-C-H? If you did, that's correct, because we hear the short vowel sound, there it is, followed by a ch. And so those are side by side, so we better insert that T. Okay, try this one. Lunch. Tap it or trace it, grab the whole word and say it, and then write it down. Did you get L-U-N-C-H? If you did, that's right. We don't need the T in this case because we already have the N doing that job of separating the vowel from the CH. Okay, teacher, if you have time permitting and you'd like to, you can do a few more words in this way, or you can move on to the connected text for sentence writing. There are 3 sentences. The teacher reads all 3 sentences, and the student chooses the 2 that will be written. After the student writes the sentence, use CHOPS to check the work. Let's do a quick review before you go. We've been talking about the TCH rule. Tap this word and say it. Did you get batch, as in I will make a batch of cookies? That's right. Why does this word have to have a T in it, even though I don't hear it when I say it, batch? What I'm really hearing is batch. Why do I put the T in there? Can you tell your teacher that? Okay, well, the TCH rule says that when we have a 1-syllable word and it's a short vowel followed by the CH sound, we're going to write it TCH, even though we don't hear that T. Okay, great work today. This is the end of lesson number 35. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.